Yeah, so welcome back to the channel. Terance Crawford on the weekend versus Israel Madrimov. Good fight. Good back and forth fight. And like I told you in my prediction video I made about a month ago, Israel Madrimov is no one to play with. And I said this would be one of Terance Crawford's hardest fights in recent times, right? Because Crawford came out on his post-fight interview, said it wasn't the hardest fight he's fought, right? But of recent times, I'll say it is. He's on an 11-fight knockout streak. Well, before this fight, he was on an 11-fight knockout streak. Israel Madrimov took him to points. There's a lot of people saying that it's a robbery. I mean, I'm like, come on, man, really? Are you gonna dislike Terance Crawford that much? You're gonna say that Madrimov was robbed? Madrimov, right, was in the press conference himself, post-fight press conference, never mentioned it once. All right, before the fight started, before we had the fight, remember Team Madrimov came out, and Madrimov himself came out and goes, he hopes there's going to be no dodgy decisions or, you know, any bias type decisions from the referees. Hope the referee's going to be straight down the middle on this. So he mentioned it before the fight, and he wasn't given the decision. Crawford was given the decision. There was no complaints from Madrimov or his team, even though they put it out there from the beginning. There was no complaints. So you would have thought Israel Madrimov himself, if he felt like he had won the fight, he would have come out and said he won the fight. I'm sorry, he did not win that fight. Didn't win that fight. Terance Crawford won that fight. Anyone who knows anything about boxing and watch that fight will clearly see Terance Crawford won that fight. Take nothing away from Israel Madrimov though. I've already said it. I've already given him my props, and I've said it to you before. He's a fighter that I've been watching from way back as far as 2019, and I knew he was a decent fighter from the beginning, right? I knew he's a decent fighter, and I've always said he's one to watch out for. Guess what? I'm gonna say it. Israel Madrimov would mollywop Errol Spence, right? He would mollywop Errol Spence. Don't listen, put some respect on this guy's name. People are trying to say, oh, Terance Crawford is not that good anymore. He's getting older now. It's starting to show. No, the level of opposition has stepped up. He's fighting at 154, a weight class he's never fought in before up until now. And he's fighting a decent fighter. We're not talking about Errol. Errol Spence is not the best fighter at 147. He might have had 3 belts, but he was not the best fighter. He was ducking a lot of the good competition over there. Jerome Boots Innes was Errol Spence's mandatory from way back, right? You got Virgil Ortiz as well, a guy that wanted a piece of Errol Spence. These guys avoided Crawford at 147. They could have made those fights, they didn't. Right, Crawford was open to those fights, they didn't. They wanted Spence because Spence was the weak link. Errol Spence was nothing special, and I've been telling people this for years, right? For years, I've been telling people Errol Spence is nothing special. And that's the reason why Terance Crawford wiped the floor with him so easy. Israel Madrimov is a different breed of fighter. I'm telling you, listen, I would put my money on Israel Madrimov beating Boots Innes at 154. I would comfortably put some money down and say that Madrimov would beat Boots at 154. So I don't know why everyone's coming out and saying, oh, this is the reason why Terance Crawford doesn't want to fight Boots. Get the hell out of it. Boots ain't beaten nobody. And Boots ain't looked great himself. Did you see him against Avanesyan? Avanesyan was touching him up, right? Boots won the fight comfortably, but for me, Boots got hit way too often, right, for my liking. And I think Terance Crawford would beat Boots pretty easily. I'm telling you, beat him pretty easy. So, look, this is just my verdict on it anyway, man. Madrimov done extremely well. Take nothing away from his performance. He did very well. And I don't want to see him, like, you know, I want to see him come back again and try and regain another belt. I mean, at 154, I think Terance Crawford's going to be looking for the rest of those belts to become undisputed. If he can do that, maybe we might get a rematch between these two guys, or you never know. Israel Madrimov, once Terance Crawford's left the division, maybe he can go and clear up the division, because he's definitely good enough to do it. He's definitely good enough to do it. But anyway, look, enough said. I don't want to say much more. Terance Crawford's receiving a lot of hate from the detractors. I believe these are Errol Spence fans who are still upset about the way Terance Crawford dog walked their idol last year in the T-Bone Bar massacre, right? And now where is Errol Spence? Nowhere. Gonna fight Fundora? Good luck with that. But anyway, look, enough said. Smash the like button, hit the bell for notifications to get all the new latest videos.